新ロブジラ
Follow the light. The light is your guide.
Now to preface this before we begin, and I'm going to be short, sweet, and to the point. Don't like the movie. Design, probably within my top 20. Now let that permeate through your brains as I say these next words. I freaking love this figure so much. Oh. There you go. No biases. Let me get him in my hand so I can show you things. We're gonna start with the dorsal fins. They start about halfway down Godzilla's head, moving into his nape and then into his neck. And they might not look impressive now, but you move a couple inches. Oh. Yeah, these friggin' things are dusted off masterpieces. Whether they're screen accurate or not, I really don't care. I love the way they look. I love the different grays and whites. I love that the tipped off parts are brighter than the rest of them. I love the gooey centered cores of them. And I just love everything about Hiya's very first Toho Goji's dorsal fins. The little ones, the big ones, and yes, even the tailed ones. And I do very much enjoy that there is a gradual fall off in size and in paint for all of these dorsal fins, all the way to the tip of the tail. And, you know, it's not new ground traveled here. This is something we've seen a bunch, but I just really like how Hiya did it. It looks good. It feels good. Yeah, they do have some give to them, so they don't feel like they're gonna break off if the figure falls. And more importantly, I like the way they smell. Ugh. Now, in terms of paint, we also got toes over here. Bro's got some filthy looking toenails, and in all honesty, I think they look great. The tops of them got these lines and everything. There's no glibs and globs of paint really disturbing the circadian rhythm of their visual aspects. Again, I really do like that. The claws, while less detailed in terms of paint, are going to have that same yellowish color, but they're also going to have a pinkish root to them as well. And for the most part, I think they look great on both sides and on both pairs. Hey! Yo! Is this Hiya or Super 7? We've got us some jutsu hands! And they're going to be sporting the same kind of paint, if a bit messy on a few of them, but I do enjoy the overall make and model of them. This is cool. This is a nice, differing little positioning for that of Godzilla's hands. I dig it. I like it. We'll apply them later. Now we must discuss the elephantine in the room, the obvious thing that people are talking about when it comes to this figure. That being the head and the fact that Hiya is saying at some point in time this year we're going to get a new alternate head for this figure. And save for maybe just one aspect, I really don't think anything needs to be done with this head. I'm not exactly a master on everything that is Gido Goji over here, but when it comes to his head, I mean, I think it looks just fine. The only downside would be the shape of his pupils and just how friggin' large they are. My God, let me center that for you. Yeah, bro's got some dilated pupils. Bro looks like he took 345 tabs of acid and then started playing Child of Eden for the Xbox 360, featuring Genki Rockets doing the entire soundtrack. Anybody? Love that game. Love that album. Love Genki Rockets. Please come back. And that's about it when it comes to my complaints with the paint. Yeah, they look a bit misshapen and rather large. They almost kind of look like peanuts, but I'm not gonna get into that. The paint around them is orange and maybe a bit metallic yellow over there. Maybe it's just the light hitting them, but yeah, the pupils would be the only point of paint complaints from me, and even then, you really need to look at it in order to see it. I mean, unzoom. Can you even tell that his pupils are large? I really can't, not from this angle. And even then, I don't care. But hey, I won't look a daft dragon in the face and tell him not to rip out the Titanic demon's throat. Let's take a closer look at some details of the body. Earlier on in this figure's mainland China release, when we were first getting in hands, I saw a lot of people worried that the figure looks a bit waxy, a bit soft. He does have a bit of a gummier feel to him than other Hiya Toys figures, and I would say the details do feel a little less 3D 4K-ish. But I really wouldn't even consider that a bad thing because the figure still looks great. I mean, it's still detail you can feel, just maybe not as much as the amount of detail you could feel when touching a friggin' MonsterVerse Godzilla from Hiya. Yes, as you can see, there is a bit of a difference. Not even a bit. There's a huge difference between the two figures and just how they look, feel, and move. But I'm gonna be upfront, this really doesn't bother me. I think I can understand where people are coming from, thinking and saying that the figure looks cheaper than it is, but this is one of those instances where you really need to get the figure in hand and then develop your opinion on it. I've seen videos, I've seen in-hands, I've seen full frontal breakdowns of everything this figure does, and still I was like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. Now I friggin' love it. Possible figure of the year material too. And I'm sure some people are already noticing a bit of gloss on this guy, and I do believe that is from the material, not from a painting method. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the teeth and the tongue. We'll get to it. I'm just gonna wrap up what I'm saying right here, right now. Like the Super 7 Fun Funds, like the Super 7 -1 charged up version, get this in hand. See it and feel it with your own eye feelers and your own sight sensory fingertip things. Because even though the shine isn't significant on this guy on camera, he's a lot less shiny in hand. Does it look like his feet don't match the rest of the figure? I'm gonna stop. Alright, we gotta talk about the teeth and the tongue because... look at these teeth. They're so lovingly painted. I'm legitimately... wow. You know, these are some small teeth, so... I mean, if you have an issue with it, you have an issue with it. But I can't, in any good word, say that these teeth aren't exemplary. I mean, yeah, we do got some funny mold issues going on over there, and this fang over here looks a bit duller than the rest, but pinky teeth, you know? The fact that these are neatly painted with some gum application in there as well is kind of a godsend. Is Bro missing a tooth? Or is it behind? Oh, it might be behind. What do you mean they painted the second row of teeth on Goji? Okay, maybe they didn't paint all of them. Do you see that? Does that look like a possible heat ray port? Maybe. But I do have to comment on the details in here. I think they are utterly beautiful. The details on the tongue as well. Look at that. And even the floor of the mouth too. Lovely in every sense of the word. I really don't have any complaints. And I would even consider the pupil issue I had to be a nitpick at best. And yeah, I give this thing a flying pass of colors. It just looks great. So accurate or not, I kind of don't care. It's just a damn fine looking figure. And now, before we continue on, let me show you some. Hiya Hokkaido Goji is going to be standing at slightly over 7 inches tall when properly stood up straight. Not a bad size. Shokugan, Color Renewal Movie. Bandai Godzilla Collection, HG, SH Monster Arts, Hiya Toys, King Ghidorah Minis from Bandai, Finger Puppet, Bandai The Godzilla Collection, Godzilla 1991, big maximum fuck-off figure, and another Hiya. We're back. Now I'm going to show you how to put on the hands. Now, I will suggest, when you want to switch out these hands, to definitely give them some heat, because right out of the box, they definitely don't feel like they belong on this figure because of how tight they are. And even now I'm having an issue. But after a little bit of torture, there you go. That's how the hands will differ. Open splayed. Casting a spell on you, maybe. Oh yeah, the details on these are really nice. All right, that's done. Moving on to... mouth can open and close. Open. And yeah, just about that far. Top of the head, you're gonna get a ball joint. Up, down. And of course, since it's a ball joint, we can go all the way around and do a full swivel. And, believe it or not, we're gonna get 2 more ball joints for the neck. So in turn, Godzilla can look really far down and maybe not as far back up, but yo. Okay, yeah, definitely pretty far up. Bro is praying to God to kill Peter Parker.
I want you to kill Peter Parker.
And just look at this necular curve. Jesus! I don't know what they was putting in your juicy juice boxes or anything like that, but the curve on this neck is sublime. The only major downside being is that sometimes you'll get some gaps in the neck. Gaps don't bother me, but I know they bother some people, so I'm stating it. And since these pieces are fixed at the bottoms of them, you can't exactly move them to accommodate for any kind of gaps, but it does take a while and a bit of a bend for you to start seeing gaps, and even then, I mean, look at that. My God. Is that a 90-degree angle? Now, as you can see on Goji's back over here, there's going to be a bit of a divot for this dorsal fin over here. So if you're going to spin them at the base of the neck, I would recommend bending the neck a bit more forward, but it is a bit of a tight fit. But when it comes to looking up and looking down, Hiya have definitely set their sights a bit higher. I'm sorry. Arms can move up and down. You're gonna get a full Xbox 360 at the shoulders. Gonna get a bend at the bicep and at the elbow over here for a decent enough bend in and out. Swivel at the bicep, swivel at the forearm. When it comes to the wrist over here though, I'm going to make a suggestion. Don't spin here, spin actually at the wrist. Just like that. So this piece doesn't get all twisted up, because I believe Harold from Figure Mania Show mentioned that the hands go on in such a specific way that kind of matches up with the shapefuls of the joint. As you can see, the hands are kind of cut the same way, so that may or may not factor in. I don't know. I ain't a genius. All right, kids, don't blink, because Godzilla has an ab crunch and an ab crunch back, so combine the head and neck movements for looking down, and then the ab crunch, and bro is looking down at you for not liking Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah in 1991.
What's the matter with you, Rob? Why you no like?
I'm sorry, Godzilla. Don't hate me. I love you, though. Oh, my God. How could I have possibly gotten to the recording process and not talked about one of the most important things on this figure? The absolutely beautiful and eye-catching, massive fuck-off titties Godzilla has. Holy hell, now that's a detail. So that torso bend is also going to allow some rocking from side to side. Just like that, you can get some really good curves combined with the body and Godzilla's neck and head. And of course, you can give him the twirly bird right at the torso, right there. Hell yeah. Thighs can move in and out about that far. At the leg, you'll be able to fully swivel all the way around comfortably. Gonna get a lovely double bend at the knee. Look at that. Bit of a swivel at the upper portion. Ooh, more of a swivel? I'm not gonna push this, but yeah, there is a swivel. Up and down at the toes, more than you'd think. That was a surprise. As well as a pivot. And something I really wasn't expecting was he can do the SH Monster Art's broken leg thing. And now we must discuss it. I've got a black magic woman. This tail, it's been sent down from the ball jointian gods themselves. I'm pretty sure you can all tell that it's all ball joints and that every ball joint is usually a swivel, but I think I just need to demonstrate just how ball jointian this tail is. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like I can get, yep, another bend. There might even be another one in here. Look at this Cinnabon swirl that Goji's got for a tail. It's honestly insanely impressive what Hiya has been able to start with, which, as far as their Goji tails have gone, they've been kind of here nor there, but now we can pull off stuff like this. I mean, we can even get an even deeper S-curve with this. We can get the coil curve going on there. And black magic is definitely the way to describe all of this. How did you do that? How? Whether Godzilla's tail was actually that long in the movie or doing wild curves like this in the movie or not, I don't give a crap. That is a beautiful set of ball joints and tailage that just makes posing this thing a lot more fun than kind of just fighting with this thing just to get a pretty nice curve. I'll give it that much. I'm just saying. Compare and contrast, that's all. Now let me show you the good. Alright. Gonna say it up front, Hokkaido Goji smokes every other Godzilla that Hiya has put out thus far. This is the mid-series reboot, not even season, series, because everything present on this figure when it comes to posability is so outwardly different, outwardly new, and so much more focused on movement than anything that Hiya has put together with their Monsterverse stuff and prior releases. This is not new figure goggles. This is not hype. You can see it right in front of you, from the tail, from the body, everything. This is the full-scale reboot I think a lot of people have been hoping for when it comes to Hiya, their articulation, and overall posability. This thing moves and works like a dream. It doesn't feel like I need to heat treat this thing before I can get it where I want it to be. Now, yes, some Monsterverse Gojis, they were a lot easier right out of the box. Of course, some joint tolerances felt like that they were loosened up a bit, but here, I didn't have to heat treat this guy. Well, that's a lie. I had to heat treat his neck just a tad because it was tight, but that's literally it. This thing, right out of the box, was a dream. And as the hours went by, and as I went to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning this morning, because I was too busy playing with this friggin' thing, I could not speak any higher on this. This is, without a doubt, Hiya's best Godzilla thus far. Who knows what they're gonna get up to next? And I would even say, in terms of posability, this is the closest to SH Monster Arts they've ever been. Ever. And if they go even further beyond this, the line between the two will start to blur. If all of their figures follow suit and can do and move what this thing can, believe the hype. Leave this video with the knowledge knowing they're catching up and they're doing it great. I want to give and extend another loving thank you to that of Hiya Toys for providing me with this here review sample. 1991 King Ghidorah, I'm not sure where he is. This guy kind of just popped up and that was it. And since Ghidorah is kind of big, maybe it's going to take him a bit longer, I don't know. But we've got Aggregate Destroya, 2.0 Burning Godzilla, and Destroya. Then we've got the Transformers X Godzilla stuff. All of that is hopefully going to be on its way this week. I know Aggregate already is. I'm talking too much. Shinrob Jira. Hope you enjoyed. Check out social media. See you next time for whatever comes first. Believe the hype. This figure's fun. How in the hell did they paint that?